things I count to one. Like 1, 2, you that do, I count to
loving the local music right here on Informante Radio. That is Mr. Samuel Shines featuring Doc Cherry. What?
How
It's titled One and Only.
Shines, say something. Is she busy? Oh, okay.
Oh, because we are playing your song, now you are there just smiling. Come on, from ear to ear. All right, good morning, guys. Welcome back to the Morning Mix. Welcome back to those of you that are joining us on the live stream. I see you guys are very excited to get into this morning's conversation.
Hulle is net oorig, hulle almal.
Jy moet ophou.
Oorige mense. False stories.
But before we get to that, we've got something minor that we need to get out of the way first. We've got two guests in the studio. We've got Selma and Sophia. Good morning, guys. Welcome to the show.
Morning, sir.
Yes. Now, you may be wondering, wait. Let me not be rude. We also have Mr. Andreas Shihama, who is currently in Walfish Bay on the line. Good morning, Andreas.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm very good, too. All right, now these three guys, I know about 4 weeks ago, we announced the last winner that we announced on the show. I think the guy was from was it Chumep or Grootfontein?
Jy kan nie meer hierdie goed stof vir môre vra nie.
It's like I'm doing the show by myself.
Do the show by yourself. Thank you very much.
Yes, of course. If you do not know, Rhodes has been running this competition where they're giving away $10,000 Namibian a week.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
So the three guys that we have live on the show right now, that is Salma, Sophia, and Andreas, are the three winners from the past 3 weeks. So firstly, let me just congratulate you guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Let's start with you, Sophia. How did you enter the competition?
So I think the other week. So I just went to Checkers. So I see a competition. So there's a guy who's calling, come and they support our product. So I went there and they explained everything. So I was very interested. So I went and buy 4 different
items,
juice and beans and the other things. So then I start to SMS that number on the receipt. Yeah.
And now you've got $10,000.
Yes.
Are you willing to share?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Penonjara mo Namibia.
Yeah, even though.
Oh, even though. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the more you give, the more you get.
Yeah.
My sister, what was it like for you?
For me, I have a friend who like competition.
Okay.
Her name is Frida. So she WhatsApp me the
competition.
Yeah, the competition pamphlet. She said, Soma, there's a competition, there's a share of 100,000, let's participate. Then I said, okay, but I don't have money, taxi money to go to ShopRite and Checkers, all those. Try your luck. So I think after a week, I went to ShopRite. I bought my 3 items. Then I SMS. From there, that day, I start checking my phone. When will I receive the call? So I give up. I think it's now 3 weeks.
And then you get the call.
Then I get the call, and I was confused. I said, these scam people. How will I win the 10,000? Then the guy reminded me, did you remember you bought something in ShopRite and you participate And said, oh, I remember now.
Oh, way. That's so cool. Andreas, how did you enter the competition?
No, I was just in ShopRite doing my shopping.
Yeah.
And I saw the piece of paper on the Reds product and Park Bull.
Mm-hmm.
So I buy 3 of them and SMS as written on the paper. On Monday or when was it? I received a call.
Oh, way.
It was my lucky day.
Ah.
10,000. So we've got a combined $30,000 Namibian on the show this morning. Apart from Neville has not declared his
Hey,
assets yet.
Leave me alone.
So we don't know how much money he has.
No.
But guys, congratulations. Please spend the money wisely. This economy is not playing games.
Yes, thank you very much.
but the three of you must realize now. There are family members and friends who are watching you live now. They know you have money now.
They start calling.
Say, why, my sister? Man, is there not a way that you can maybe give me 2,000 or 1,000? Those calls will start coming in today. Watch family members that have not spoken to you in many years. They'll start calling you.
Yeah. So maybe you'll have to change your number. But once again, congratulations, Andreas. Thanks for joining us on the show via the phone. You're in Walfish Bay, I understand, right?
I'm in Swakop.
Or in Swakopmund.
Yeah.
How's the weather that side?
It's a little bit cold, but not that much.
That place is always cold.
We
also.
love the Swakopmund weather. We love
I
that
hope you
weather.
must come visit.
Definitely.
If
But
I had 10,000 or a friend who has 10,000, maybe I would come.
Just come.
All right. Once again, congratulations, guys. Salma, Sophia, thank you for actually taking the time out to come join us in the studio.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes.
And we are very appreciative for this. And we are very happy.
Really.
Yeah.
All right. The show must go on.
the show must go on. We're just waiting for Maria to walk into the studio. Thank you so much, guys.
Yes, of course.
Have a nice day.
Maria's going to join us in studio in a short bit. I see you guys are already up in arms on Facebook. Andreas, ciao, ne?
Okay.
Yeah.
Achievete.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, you guys are already up in arms here. It's like, no, let's get to this. Let's start talking. Neville, maybe let's start
Shines.
to the comments.
Roep vir Maria daarso. Can you call
Wacht, laat Maria inkom.
by Wambo Chick?
But Benito, Nati B, let's do this, guys. Sienki Kangumine says, following you. Tenga Care, good morning, everyone. I believe you are one of the guys who are voting at the embassies outside the Namibian borders. We're going to want to hear from you a whole lot this morning. Maggie Petrus saying, yes. And of course, good morning, Benito, also saying morning. Vicky Penny Nashidengo says, what Sally? Ya Idenga Ipinge. Don't talk here in the background while I'm talking. I'm going to get up here and then there's going to be problems. Today is not the day. Good morning, Maria.
Not today.
Morning.
How's you? Oh, I got your chair.
Yes, it's fine.
Not bad.
Neville is now shorty again.
Rolf Heinrich, good morning, all valued Namibians. Richard Henkert also saying good morning.
Oh, Richard.
Top Cherry is toch happening. Yeah. And what about Tate Samuel? We will touch on the disgraced ministers or what. Good morning, Mario Vasco Florelinda. Constant Mwadingi. I should put on my glasses. Hi, watching from Tanganyika. Neville, please sit properly. And Biza Black saying, Selma, my sister. Oh, long time, my sister. Oh, you remember back in the day when I beat that other boy for you? Call me my sister. Senior beginnele. Selma wordt klaar hier zo gesê is like, young, you remember I did this and that for you back in the day.
We knew they were going to come out.
I remember they used to do that. I think it was what is the Mula Mobile or whatever.
Yes.
We used to give people used like, no, please don't put my picture in the newspaper. And people be calling me for stuff that happened years and years ago. Cubase. I also received a call from you guys, but was not invited in studio. Oh, Johnny. Don't worry, we'll invite you if you win again. Morning, guys. Have a great day. Jorams Nadilu, hi, gents. Keep it up. And Bradley Bokovic, or Bokas, so as Neville say. Morning to you guys. Have a lekker day. All right. Guys, we've got a lot to get through. Where do we start, Neville? Waar wil jy begin?
Let me drink my tea and mind my own business.
You can't mind your business.
Nee, ek stel nie belang.
There's no minding your own
Moro
business.
Maria.
I don't know if you guys are extremely loud or it's just my earphones are.
Nee, miskien jy's babbelas, Maria.
Ek drink it.
Live there, because if you do that, your host affected. Let me just adjust your.
Oh, all right, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll sort it out. Yeah, anyway, morning.
How did you sleep?
Now it's.
How did you sleep, Maria?
I got a little bit more hours.
You got a little bit more hours.
Yeah.
Why did you sleep more?
I just.
You more relaxed?
Oh no, I think I was just tired.
You were just tired?
Yeah.
Tired of yesterday?
Oh.
Because we're all tired of yesterday. It
What
was
a day.
emotionally draining yesterday.
Yeah. Yesterday was one of those. I think for media, it's one of those busy news days, we like to say, where things are happening in and around. I'm sure everybody knows by now that Fisheries Minister Bernard Esau and Justice Minister Saki Shangala have resigned from cabinet in the wake of reports that they received kickbacks from some fishing quotas and so forth. I guess that's what we're getting through today, right?
I saw, like, yesterday afternoon I had some guys who were calling me trying to sort of find out what was going on. I guess maybe people did not read the newspapers, but just against that background, maybe just give us a little bit of a run through of what actually is to can happen here.
All right. Just the very beginning. There's a Icelandic company, Samaji, that came to do business in Namibia, and its country representative seemed to have gotten very close to Saki Shangala, who I said now is the former minister now, Bernard Esau, his son-in-law, who is married to his sister, Thompson Fiti Hatuikulipi, and Investec MD, Namibia, James Hatuikulipi. In fact, I think James is also the chairperson of Fishco, which also then did business with this Samaji. Anyway, there's what the whistleblower is the country man for Samaji, and he was basically did an interview with a broadcaster in Iceland. This is an Icelandic company, and he presented over 30,000 documents which are now on WikiLeaks. So this story was being compiled together with a newspaper in Iceland, the broadcaster in Iceland, Al Jazeera. I understand the Namibian was also involved slightly, but yeah, it's an international scandal at this rate. Al Jazeera is coming out with their report on the 1st of December. We don't know what's. Yeah. So the documentary, there was a 1-hour documentary, so to say, but that was released by the Iceland national broadcaster. The one of Al Jazeera is still coming. So
and they might have more details.
Yeah, because they were working together, but all kind of running their own investigations and doing it. Because I know with the Iceland broadcaster, they went as far as coming to Namibia and going to Angola, because also the other bone of contention was that there was this quota that Namibia donated.
Those government-to-government donations.
Yes, those government-to-government. But then it was headed by somebody that works under James at Investec, a company that was formed. The agreement was signed by now former Fisheries Minister Bernard Esau. And then there is a track of emails between Saki, James, Fiti, and this whistleblower, Stephenson, in which you can see that there's some colluding and of how they're going to go about this fishing quota. And also, by the way, the former fisheries minister of Angola was also involved, and her son João. So it's a whole network. It's a handful of people. I wouldn't say it's a huge network, but it's a network of people. Well politically connected, business influential people. We now know that the former minister of Angola, Victoria de Barros, she was fired, in fact, in January.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah, by João Lourenço, the president of Angola. The interesting thing about that is, he didn't really give reasons, but that was also the time that our president was made aware that there's a investigation on this fishing that also involves Angolan partners. So there's a lot of people are suspecting that she was fired because of those investigations surrounding her. And we know João Lourenço, we call him J-Lo. He's that's how you write the name.
J-Lo.
No, that's literally what everybody in Angola calls him. So with João Lourenço, we know he's taken that position of no tolerance for corruption. Well, so even if you're being investigated,
cheap.
Go.
Cheap.
Go clear yourself, and we talk afterwards. But now, go.
Maria, I tell you, I'm sitting here next to you while you are talking about this, and Cubase. Every time Maria says minister or former minister Shaki Shangala or former minister Bernard Esau, I sit here and I still can't believe
that they're gone.
What has happened.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like I have to pinch myself to really say, is this true?
It doesn't seem like a reality.
It doesn't seem like a reality.
When you read, when you read the story, even when you're watching the document, it's almost like something you see in a movie.
Yeah.
Guys, Cubase yesterday morning.
Did you watch the documentary, by the way?
No, man. I had the show until... ek sal vanaand kyk. Because, I had an event and I was up until 1 this morning. Long story short, Maria, I tell you, the two very defining videos. The one video where minister or former minister Esau goes into this restaurant.
Yeah, the Chinese restaurant.
The Chinese restaurant. Is it here?
Yeah, it was.
Is it here?
Yeah.
Yangtze.
Yeah, Yangtze.
Now, you know what? As I see him going in there, I'm like, boy, Mukurwanje, I hope this is not what I think is going to happen. Yeah. I hope. And then you see the shots, and then you see the video where he's being confronted, by this journalist.
Yeah.
And
undercover
journalists.
Yes, undercover because they're pretending to be investors.
And the stuff and how he had to defend himself and the sheer embarrassment. Yo.
And just by the way, that footage at Yangtze that was taken, that was also showcased in the documentary, the 1-hour documentary, is actually Al Jazeera footage.
Ne?
So we don't know
what
else they have.
Yeah.
So we know, for example, Al Jazeera cut it into pieces. It might have cut it in pieces and given it because they still have to release their... I don't think they would have given them the full footage.
Yes.
So, I actually...
Can't wait to see that.
Can't wait to see that. But I need to address this something. So there's been assumptions there. Why the timing of this thing? Why is it happening now? As they're trying to influence elections and so forth. Here's the thing. These investigations have been going on for about a year. This networks, they've been working on these investigations for about a year. But can we really say there's an agenda when I think the main story, which is the Al Jazeera one, the one that's really going to blow things, because I understand, I have it off record, that Saki Shangala, he was recently in Morocco a few weeks ago for work-related matters. And the Al Jazeera reporters, right, that were working on this case, called him, asked to do an interview, but they disguised it. They say, we just want to talk about Namibia, elections are about to come, about your successes as a country, your success as a minister. Just do and obviously Saki, being Saki, jumped to the opportunity because campaign was. And he had the interview, and they initially just started off asking him normal questions. And then then they just ambushed him.
Direct dinge.
They just ambushed him and they started asking him about the phishing scandal. Yeah, and they have that on camera.
So we're going to see that it's still coming.
That's going to be in Al Jazeera. These are my sources saying that he was ambushed in Morocco.
Okay.
But that footage hasn't been. So this is the Al Jazeera story. But what I'm saying is Al Jazeera, which is I think is going to be the main story.
Yeah.
Is scheduled. They've scheduled it for the 1st of December. This will be after our election process.
Over a week after the election.
Yeah, a week over. So can we really say that there is an agenda here? You understand? The others released their thing when they were ready to do it.
I mean, of course, people will try and say anything to sort of discredit, try and discredit the information or make it seem like it's a political plot.
Yeah.
But then you can clearly see there's nothing of the sort here. This is a story that has been coming on for a while.
Yeah. And it was reported on, by the way, that they're being investigated. The details, not so much, but
did not come out.
Didn't come out. Now we have documents.
Okay.
Yeah, and just also to add to it, sorry, the thing with this whistleblower, the reason he took it to the network is initially this whistleblower apparently gave this information over to our ACC and the FIC, which is the Financial Institution Center, FIC, last year already. Okay, so
Excuse
ACC
me.
Last year.
Hello.
Yeah, for example, I knew already in December these people were being investigated by the ACC.
And you didn't tell us. We sit here together every morning, girl. Anyway,
so this was already made. This information was given to the ACC and the FIC last year. For this guy to go to the media in Iceland, there was this burning frustration that nothing is going to be done because of how powerful they are, and it seems like nothing has been happening. And the story coming out yesterday, it did embarrass. It was very embarrassing to our ACC because it says to us, well.
So you've been sitting on this.
You've been sitting on this. How much did you need? Why have you not arrested?
Right.
Why? I mean, you're sitting with. We have now access to the same 30,000 documents that the ACC has, and if you go through them, there's enough there to at least say, let's institute criminal charges.
So, Maria, are you saying that the ACC is very selective?
I'm not saying
what they do?
I'm saying is they're feeding into the narrative that is Jew influence there, and it's not a good look because they're supposed to be the watchdogs.
Speaking of Anti-Corruption Commission, I have a quote here on the front page of the Namibian Sun from Mr. Paulus Noah, saying a video clip is not evidence and not enough to go to court with.
Yeah, but there's nothing. They don't just have a video.
Yes, they probably have other information.
They have the same. Documents. They have the same documents that WikiLeaks has put up. They have those exact same documents.
So it seems like there's a bit of a reluctance to investigate the case or to prosecute the case or whatever it may be.
Yeah, I don't want to speak for them, but that's our speculation. It's like I said, I've had time to go through some of this. There's so many documents. There's 30,000. Obviously, I don't have time to go through all of them. Yeah, I've gone through some of them, and everybody should be allowed to defend themselves. So we're not saying that that's necessarily guilty, but there's definitely enough, like I said, to bring criminal charges against them, and to make an arrest, and for the matter to go to court. I understand the matter is also with the Prosecutor General. The PG is also aware of it because she was, in fact, I understand, the one that informed. She also informed the president that this investigation is ongoing.
But she doesn't know where the 600 million is.
Well, I mean, now we know why when they say they must just write off things. Like we're starting to connect dots.
The dots. By the way, police chief Sebastian Deitunga also pronounced himself on the issue, saying, I am not investigating this case. I don't know if that is going forward or he was speaking for just at the moment.
I don't think the matter is with the police. Let me be very clear.
Okay.
The matter is with the ACC, which is where it should be.
But the ACC do not prosecute, right?
No, the ACC have their own investigators, police investigators, and they can charge people.
Okay.
That's why you can get charged through the ACC, and that's and then the matter goes now through the normal processes. We saw even with Katrina, she was charged by the ACC. She was not charged by the police, Namibian police, so to say. So he's not wrong to say perhaps that they're not investigating. I don't think it was taken to the police. This is such a big case that it's corruption at an international level that it would go to the ACC. But like I said, it's embarrassing. I hope now with this expose and it being global, because it is global now, and Al Jazeera, when that report comes out, it's even going to get worse. I hope that it actually forces the ACC to do something. Because even if these people are innocent, all we say is we don't want inactions.
Yeah.
Yes. Of course, our president was geared to react to the situation, but then the two ministers, from my understanding, tendered their resignation before they could, face the fire with the president. That was yesterday afternoon.
Yeah. Oh, yesterday, yeah.
Yeah,
It's actually
sometime
happened.
yesterday.
Yeah. The interesting thing with all of that is we got initial information we got was that they were fired at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
They went to State House and they were fired. This is the information I had from well-placed sources.
Yeah.
But that they were busy with the press release. But when the press release came out, but then also, and then on the flip side, we also said, Saki had said that he had told people that he tendered in his resignation and had already informed the president. So I don't really know what's what, but okay, in any event, they're gone.
But then getting fired can also be me telling you, it's like, hey, I want your resignation letter on my table.
Well, if
Yes,
you're given an option.
Yes, that is
like,
basically me firing you.
Quit or get fired. Yeah, it's like we said, it's semantics. Because at the end of the day, the end result is exactly the same.
Yeah.
So you say that a guy like Swart Boy, who was probably in the same, almost the same situation a few years ago, I believe he was fired.
But he was given an option to apologize.
Okay.
He was told apologize or get fired. He refused to apologize.
Nama, harde gat nama.
Yeah.
Exali.
I said what I said.
I haven't heard that
word in a
long time.
Hita dit exali. Ek hoor die man het van State House af gestap, maar Roamol toe.
Hy sal dit reg kry.
Just to blow off steam.
That's actually a good way of blowing off steam.
Loop and scope is stop sign. Alright,
what other people say?
Before we pick up the conversation again. Mbozi Mohometsi, watching from Gaborone, Botswana.
Dumela ra.
Litmus Super Black. Okay, send us a picture. Says, is that wine? Oh, I got my answer simultaneously after I pressed enter. It's like two comments after, like I think it was when you said, I'm going to drink my tea. Mashaba CH, morning guys. Bokas or Bradley. No, this is not Bokas. My brother. Never I need new glasses.
Kom so achter.
Bradley Kuwisep, will there be any legal actions taken against them, or does things just end after resignation?
Gaan eers aan.
Okay. Nande Matundu, please explain what you mean by politically connected. Who is Shangala and Esau politically connected to?
No, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the others.
Yeah. Chandri Imogen Niels, well done, Maria. You did your homework very good. That's why she did not sleep. Moses Magerman, Mora se groete uit die strand. Mora. Fitzpatrick Simata, the Angolan president must come and
J-Lo.
Yeah,
J-Lo.
cleanse our cabinet and cleanse our cabinet. Okay. I honestly don't think they will be prosecuted. That the credibility of ACC is just questionable. That's according to Nande. Paulus Ndapewa. Neville, are you drinking iced tea or wine? Like,
Hey,
lift the
J.
glass, let me see.
Gaan.
It's done now.
It's done.
See.
It's tea. It's tea. It's
Come on.
rooibos tea.
Robert Dedich, those guys will not be arrested and will still be on the voters list for SWAPO party. Elias Octavius. All right, clearly the Namibian ACC is in cahoots with the corrupt SWAPO government. Otherwise, they would have already done something by now. They are tarnishing our image as a country. All right, Bradley Bokovic, guys, why are the two corrupt gentlemen's assets not immediately also frozen and assets confiscated? I mean, this is serious and money laundering. All right, Robert Dietrich, ACC is just there as an eye blind. They just receive a salary. Elton Black, what would the impact of these fish rot revelations be in our country's international image, and how would it affect efforts to attract investors? That is actually what I wanted to allude to, because if our government is appearing as a corrupt government or filled with corrupt officials, it kind of gives investors a pause when they want to put money in the country, because nobody knows for sure whether the money is really going to go where it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I get the skepticism. There's a lot of, I've also seen it's all over social media. People say, nothing's going to be done. I get why people are skeptical of our systems, because in the past, like, nothing has been happening, right? Not really. And when something does happen, there's like a slap on the wrist, what we consider a slap on the wrist. So I do get why people don't think there will be justice, so to say. I actually think the opposite. I think there's just too much. There's too much that is sticking.
You believe this is not the end of it?
No, this is not going away.
Okay.
You can't wish it away. This has got too much evidence that can't be explained away. That's what I'm saying. There's too much sticking, and it's concrete. That's why I've even gone as far as calling it the biggest phishing scandal in Namibian history. It really is that big, and if I think for also a lot of people, if you're not privy to the documentary, if you haven't watched it, if you're not privy to looking at the documents that were, you might still be skeptical. But I promise you, if you go through over some of those 30,000 plus emails and exchanges and WhatsApps and pictures, and you can kind of see. And this is stuff that can be, or will be, if it goes to court. I'm assuming it will be, goes to court, used. And I'm very interested to see how they'll try and explain this way. I know we have Saki has a law background, so he might be equipped to see things perhaps, or try and, although he was never practicing. I don't know if they would opt for Sisa as a lawyer, because Sisa was also implicated.
Yeah,
somewhere.
I heard his name somewhere in the
in the video. He was also some.
Excuse me.
Yeah. That when they did the recording of Bernard Esau in the restaurant, there's a thing where he says, "No, you must talk to my lawyer Sisa and Saki regarding the 200
processing the funds through.
Yeah, processing the funds
through the lawyer.
Yeah. So so I don't know if that will, if there will be a conflict of interest, because you might find that he might have to be a witness if it goes to court. I don't know. But I actually look. Even the people involved in all of this know how serious it is.
Yes,
it has shaken. It has shaken. I know for a fact all those involved are shaken to the core, because it's not small stuff. It's we are privy now to accounts international that have been getting funds, and the document work is there. Invoices for consultation work for like 1.5 million. It's a lot of things you just can't explain. It can't be explained. There's no matter how you look at it.
We're talking about an alleged 150 million plus. Over the past couple of years. And this is just from this one company. I mean, we don't know what else is still creeping in the woodworks.
It's as far, this scandal can be as high as 2.5 billion.
Money is lost and involved. It can go as far as 2.5 billion. So it's not a, and also something else I like to always say. You then, we know, for example, the two ministers that resign. At some point, you need to do if you do a lifestyle audit.
True.
Does their means justify? Can they? What's the word for it? Can you justify your lifestyle with the income you make?
I remember the issue they had with Julius Malema a couple of years back. It's like you're making 30,000 and you've got like 12 cars.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Like one plus one equals 2, and this is not adding up. So it has to add up, and unfortunately, some things are just not. They're not. Sorry, number of people know they're not adding up.
Ridiculously corrupt these guys have been. But anyway, let me read more comments. Bran Baske, good morning. What are the roles of deputy ministers Neville, you were Deputy Minister of Sports, or what was that?
Yeah, that was also the other thing I also wondered.
Yeah.
Like, why bring another minister at another portfolio to come and act in when you have a deputy?
Yes.
Don't you then
Exactly.
Yeah,
Escalate your deputy.
escalate your deputy? That didn't make sense to me.
I think this has been a trend that's, I think the first time that we saw this was with former Minister Katrina. When she resigned, somebody completely different came into her position. And it's an election time. And I believe some of the candidates made this very clear that we have very much an inflated government at this moment in time. And unfortunately, when you see stuff like this,
And you just wonder what are all these positions for?
then it's almost like it's justifying what some of the other candidates are saying.
Yeah.
So
And remember, that was something that was sort of put into place because for inclusivity, to get the smaller parties to be able to get more seats in Parliament. But it seems to be backfiring because if you look at our cabinet and then you look at our population, it does seem highly inflated.
It doesn't seem it is.
Very subtly.
Indileni said Semi Pinge, ACC investigation or investigating for such a long time, but no single arrest yet. Right? I think ACC is a biased agency, highly controlled by a clique of those in power. Benito says, wow, that was a mouthful, lady. Okay, I'm just gonna move on.
I think people, we have to put this into context because the thing is, Maria being a journalist and this was thoroughly investigated. So, come on, we need to give you at least a synopsis or as to what has transpired in the last 24 hours.
You don't
But
need
we
to
don't know,
explain yourself.
but then we also don't know what he's referring to be honest.
Here's one narrative that is out there that maybe we can touch on. The comment comes from Nande again. But guys, let's be honest. The president knew about this issue long before it came out, but the Kama resigned before he could fire. Like seriously, we must believe this?
I wanted to read just a bit from the statement of Samaji because they put out a statement yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
They just said, Samaji would like to make the following statement after coverage about our operation in Namibia in a newscast broadcasted tonight by the Icelandic National Broadcaster Service. And then it says, we are very disappointed to learn that Johannes Stefansson, who is now, as we know, the whistleblower, a former managing director of Samaji's operations in Namibia, appears to have been involved in questionable business practices and possible entangled Samaji in activities that may be illegal, says Thorsten Marbal-Vinson, CEO of Samaji. Johannes Stefansson was fired from his position in Namibia in 2016 because of mismanagement and unacceptable behavior. Now he has admitted to engaging in illegal activities while managing Samaji's subsidiaries in Namibia. Until recently, we have no knowledge of the scope and nature of Johnson Stefansson's business practices, and it is uncertain whether they really were the way he described. As we have already reported, we have engaged the international law firm Wikborg Rein in Norway to investigate activities in Namibia. In this investigation, nothing will be excluded, and we will disclose its findings as soon as they become available. We are deeply shocked that Johnson Stefansson not only admits being involved in illegal activities, he's now also making allegations against colleagues. This is not how we do business. This is not Samaji, says Thorsten Baldvinsson. Samaji has been running a successful international operation for 35 years. We always strive to act in accordance with application laws and regulations. Samaji will cooperate with the relevant authorities that may investigate the fishing industry in Namibia. If such an investigation will take place, Samaji has nothing to hide. So they're basically saying that this guy acted on his own and they were not aware of any of this. But here's the thing. We have emails. We've now seen emails that...
So this guy who made the company possibly billions of dollars was acting on his own.
Yeah, and paying people on his own. And by the way, this is just another employee. I mean, he was managing director, but like I mean, he
just works for us.
Yeah,
It's not really
he made his decisions on his own.
Daai goed en you're being thrown under the bus.
Yeah.
Ons was Sam.
But he knows it, and I think he's prepared for it. And in the documentary, he says something very interesting. He says, "I know I'll never be employed after this. I know I'll never get a job. I'll never be able to get work after this. But at least I'll sleep well at night."
yes.
Now,
Peace of mind.
now, on that note, we don't know with how much money these guys walked away with.
150 million.
In excess of.
Yes.
Yeah, in excess of.
That was just for Angola, by the way.
That's okay. Now that's just for Angola.
Yeah.
I just wonder, you know what? From here going forward, you know, you have reputations, careers completely destroyed at this moment in time, and I just don't know from here going forward what would be the kind of lifestyle these guys are going to live. Yeah, because let's look, for instance, at a guy like James Hartwig-Kalupi. I believe Investec South Africa is also they also basically sent out a statement yesterday.
No, they didn't send out a statement.
They didn't send out a statement. Okay.
They responded. Somebody on Twitter tagged them.
Okay.
And said, "Well, Investec, what are you doing about this? You know, so to say, because you have not said anything on it." And it's very short, so I'll just quickly read it for our listeners. And then Investec said, "Investec has noted the reporting in the media. Until the Namibian authorities have communicated formally on this issue, we are not in a position to respond to media speculation. We are investigating the matter and will cooperate with the authorities as we always do."
But these guys have enough money to last them a lifetime.
We now know, unless their assets get frozen.
Can I speculate?
Yes.
They'll probably end up where other corrupt criminals end up.
Oh, in jail?
In Parliament.
In Parliament.
I actually don't think that's going to happen.
No, I don't think that's
okay,
going to
yeah. Anyway, let's get back to the comments. Jose Joza, Justice Minister. The Justice Minister is corrupt. And then Erwin Kaurere replying with the irony.
Yeah.
Rachel, Marlon, and Lucas. Since 2014, ACC investigating this matter, but also, but up to date, no arrest made. I think ACC is also failing the country. Right?
Since what year?
Since 2014.
No, that's when their operations. But I think they got the investigations last year.
Yeah. Okay, correction.
Yeah.
Vesha Marenga. Right? Hi, Maria. If that's you, write your name. What I want to know is that will the former minister get their benefits of resigning as a payout or so?
Yeah, I mean they
resigned.
Yeah, they resigned. So, but even if you're fired, you are allowed to still get your same benefits.
I think we should at least freeze assets until we figure out what is really going on here.
Yeah. I actually think that will happen next. I actually genuinely believe so.
Lucas Stephen, I think it's time for new governance. Not only new candidate, but totally a new version of governance, all right? Because you can change people's future, but not their history. I'm not sure I follow. Mutatio Castans, Moro, arrest them. Telma Pea Davids, where can we get the 3,000 odd documents?
They are on, I think... Yeah, I actually would have thought everybody would have read things by now. But if you yeah, because it is big. You know, I'm always a person that I like to be informed. So that's why I will.
That's why we do what we do.
Yeah.
Most people would rather come here from
or listen to the streets.
Or get the information from the streets.
Yeah, but if you Google any of these names, James, Saki, Bernard, Esau, or Fiti, Hatukulipi, any of these names, or even Ricardo Gustavo that works at Investec.
Yeah.
If you Google any of these names with perhaps like phishing quotes or phishing scandal, phishing, you'll get a wiki link on Google. And also the documentary. So it's a lot of it. But I wanted to add, somebody made something very important observation that I hadn't observed until it was made. And it was a lady that also operates in the fishing industry. She said, we've always questioned because you can't, this document, this fishing, what do you call it? Legal documents, you know, the amendment and creating this new, it has moved with Saki throughout his political career. When he was at Law Reform, it started there. We now know when this business started in 2012 or 2014. He was at Law Reform. When he left Law Reform, he became the AG. As the Attorney General, that document went with him, and he continued doing stuff within fishing as AG. And then when he went to Justice, he continued doing work there. And this company, again, to Edward, this company of the James Hatwe Kulipi in Dubai that was exposed. These investigations were conducted since last year, but we now see the documentary says the last payment was done in 2019 to the Dubai account. So it's still a thing of he knew he was being investigated, but it didn't matter.
It's never going to come out.
I don't think he thought like there was also focus on his account in Dubai. But that's what they said. The last payment was done in 2019.
Wow.
That's probably going to come out more prominently in the Al Jazeera story. Guys, all I'm saying is it's Al Jazeera.
No, it's Al Jazeera.
So,
guys, there are so many comments. I'm not going to be able to get through them all.
But
let me try and pick out a few.
But while you check that out, so Maria, we've seen the first of the presidential election results coming through.
Yes.
And from the different embassies, etc. And somebody made a comment because we saw the Walfish Bay.
Yeah, Walfish Bay and the coast, the coastal votes. Yeah.
And somebody said, "Hey, the fishermen are angry."
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
The fishermen are very, very angry. Yeah. So I don't know if that's a true reflection or the right reflection to what has transpired yesterday.
Yeah, could be. There were lots of let's be clear. There were also a lot of retrenchments that happened there. And I think for people in the fishing industry, I think it's very then disheartening when this comes out. They're like, well, we all got retrenched.
Yeah.
But there's looting was alleged looting. Let's call it that. I don't want to actually prosecute people even though we all have our opinions. But then they're like, so people have been making millions of dollars, potentially billions of dollars, while
at my expense.
It creates a lot of resentment.
Yeah.
It does.
Anger.
And maybe we're seeing it now being translated in the elections.
And of course, one of the demographics that do listen to this show a lot is Namibians abroad. A lot of you guys were voting yesterday at the embassies across the world. Now, we understand that some of you were using pencils to vote. All right, I don't really have the information properly, so maybe one of you can give us a bit more information.
Yeah.
And of course, we will try and find out more information with regards to this, and maybe we will bring you a bit of a more detailed story on this tomorrow. Tomorrow's show.
I just saw that yesterday.
Yeah, it was being reported on.
Yeah, obviously I thought the EVM style of voting is also a global system where everybody out there, even at the embassies, are voting with the EVM machines.
But you were here when Muyoro was here.
Yeah.
He explained. He said they don't send because they need to. Those things have to be monitored and by people. That can operate, it's controlled. So, I mean, it's a
those are very technical stuff that
but he said he did mention here on air that international, whatever, that they use ballot papers, that they've already sent out the ballot papers.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like, it's interesting for me. It's an interesting issue of allowing people to vote in non-permanent markings. Basically.
Yeah, it's not the ballot. The problem is not with the ballot. The problem is with the pencil.
Yes.
That you can erase.
Yes, you can. That raises a lot of questions. All right, guys, we'll try and put more meat in that story and share it with you tomorrow. For now, we got to go. There are so many comments, and we appreciate, but we get the gist of it. A lot of you want the guys to be arrested. Of course, there is no room for corrupt officials in our independent Namibia. And... if they're being rooted out, all the better for us.
Guys,
famous last words.
it's going to be another interesting day for all of us. I think this story is going to linger on for quite a while. I was last night I was hosting an event, Maria, just outside of Windhoek at Droombos, where we had our top 40 event, and I was there with Mr. Bonnie Polino from Namfisa, and he said yesterday when he was in his office, he got so frustrated with the workers around him. He would ask for documents and he would ask this and that, and he would get no cooperation because the employees went as far as Chief, nie vandag nie, please. We are busy following the story. So everybody out there was following the story yesterday, and I think it will still continue today. People keep on looking and fishing for fishing for new information as to the scandal.
Pun intended.
Yeah, pun intended.
No, people have also heard people complaining, why did this have to come out on a Wednesday when we are working? They should have brought it out on Friday so that we can,
read it properly,
really get submerged in it. But yeah, I think it's going to be ongoing. There's too much information to get through.
The story is going to keep developing. There's going to be bits and pieces, dropping each and every day. And we are going to track all of it for you. Just a word of caution, right? I see, especially when we have some of these busy shows, these comments pop in also into the rest of the comments. It's like, no, thank you to Dr. What or Professor What who helped me with my marriage. I was what, those. Don't post it here. Go post it somewhere else. Anyway, thank you for listening and watching the live stream and listening to the show. And of course, thank you to those of you that are listening around the country on our terrestrial frequencies. You can see them up on the wall. In case you are wondering, just try and see where your town is located and what the frequency is there. Anyway, on this 8, gaan ons Justice Ministry toe? Fisheries?
Om wat te gaan maak?
State House?
Nee, los me eat. I drink my tea, as I said.
Pak and pak answer.
Pak and pak.
Yesterday, was it not yesterday? Yesterday you were wearing yellow. The day before?
Maria.
No, me and Maria were wearing black and white, I think.
I didn't even notice.
I was wearing yellow.
I was surprised. Yesterday she was wearing yellow. I said the day, or should I say last of yesterday? Is that the only English you understand? Alright, we out of here, guys. Enjoy the rest of the Thursday in the company of Informante Radio.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.